Everyone, my name is Kitanjali Singh and I'm currently interning at Lexis and Company, and the topic for today's video is really a hot topic, which is live-in relationship in India and its status. Now we also knows that live-in relationship is morally and ethically questioned in India. In this video, we learn about what is actually the live-in relationship and the status of Indian relationship and the opinions of live-in relationship by the Supreme Court, district courts, and high courts, and their laws governing the ambit of live-in relationship. Now, to start with, we must learn that live-in relationship is living together as a couple without being married to each other in the legally accepted way, and is still considered a taboo in India. Mainly, but recently, as a progressive state, India is developing, such relationships are being increasingly common due to the variety of reasons, the open-mindedness of today's adults and some of their parents. In absence of any specific legislation, rules, or customs on the subject, the Supreme Court has issued certain guidelines in its judgment for regulating such relationships. Live-in relationship between consenting adults, consenting being the key word, is not considered illegal under Indian law. After 2006, in the case of Lata Singh versus State of Uttar Pradesh, it was held that live-in relationship between two consenting adults of opposite sex, though perceived as immoral and unethical, does not amount to any offense under the Indian laws. In another important case of Khushbu versus Kamani Mal and another, the Supreme Court observed that though the concept of live-in relationship is considered immoral by the society, but why does the society matters if those two people wants to live with each other without getting married, then society is no one to interfere. But it may be immoral in the term, in the concept of society, but the Supreme Court recognized as it is not illegal in the eyes of law. Living together is a right to life, and therefore it cannot be held illegal. There are several laws which covers live-in relationship in their ambit, and number one is Prevention of Women from Domestic Violence Act of 2015. Section 2F of Prevention of Women of Domestic Violence Act defines domestic relationship as a relationship between two persons who live or have lived together at any point of time in a shared household where they are related to consanguinity, that is the relationship between them, marriage, or though a relationship in the nature of marriage, adoption, or are a family members living together as a joint family. Now, where the lawyers has made the keywords really important, whereas at the point of time they have lived together and they have argued on the same. Live-in relationships are in the nature of marriage, as the couples are living together for and sharing the same household for a long period and presenting themselves as husband and wife, though they are not actually married. Thus, they comes under the ambit of PW Act 2005, and the woman in living relationship can take protection under this act, and can also claim maintenance. Thus, this act gives legal recognition to the relation outside the marriage. The protection is also provided in Code of Criminal Procedure of 1973 under Section 125 of CRPC. The children born out of such relationship, the woman can claim maintenance, as the section itself expressly both legitimate and illegitimate child. Now, earlier in the view was that woman in a live-in relationship is not legally married to a man and is not entitled to claim maintenance under Section 125 CRPC, but can only claim maintenance under Section 23 of Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act. If she proves that she was in domestic relationship with the man, but after some cases it was held that she can also claim maintenance under Section 125. Now, the live-in couples are not allowed to adopt children according to the guidelines governing the adoption of children. In the case of Kamini Devi versus State of UP, the Allahabad High Court granted protection to a live-in couple, stating that when a major boy and girl, that being being the keyword that they both are major, decides to live together, nobody, including their parents, have the right to interfere in their living condition, and such arrangement between them is not an offense. And if anyone interferes with their peaceful living, then there will be a violation of the fundamental rights to life and liberty under Section 21. In the recent case of 2020 of Priya Preet Kaur versus State of Punjab, the Punjab and Haryana High Court held that the parents cannot force their children to live their lives on their own terms. The girl and the boy in the case were 18 and 19 years old respectively, where in that case the fact that both the petitioners were major and they can decide that how they want to live their life and to whom they want to share their life. Such different opinion of judges or different the same high courts puts many questions regarding the legality and acceptability of legal relationships in India. Though Supreme Court has given various judgments on the legality of such a relation, it is still incomplete. Acceptance regarding the same can be achieved only when there is a proper legislation and law recognizing legal live-in relationship. Now, recently, a bench consisting of Justice Naveen Sinha and Ajay Rastogi of Supreme Court, while hearing an appeal against Gurvinder Singh versus State of Punjab and Haryana High Court, ordered protection to given to the live-in relationship couples who were earlier denied any relief by the bench of High Court. In this, the apex court directed the police officials to act quickly in view of the threats which are being received by the couple, as it is an issue of life and liberty and their personal space. And therefore it can be inferred by the apex court's order that more important issue here is that the couple's fundamental right or any individual's fundamental right of life and liberty protected under article 21 of the Indian constitution is being violated, and the question that whether the marital status is to be seen while giving protection of life of liberty to a person is not a primary question, but the main priority must be given to their fundamental right. Now, despite any legal ceremony or civil marriage contract, some countries in the world recognize common law marriages. It is called as a facto marriage, but in India views are diverse because India is still developing, and some of the mindsets are still not developing. Now, the society never recognized such a relationship as legal or ethically correct, even if the mindset of their children may be open, but some of them are really orthodox, and they are not ready to change it just for the sake of their children, because the main question that arises in their mind is what will the society think. Now, the judges of the some high courts have very different point of view, and the Supreme Court time to time has given again the judgments in the favor of such relationships. Still, new progressive laws should be made with the changing society. Proper legislation is required. Other countries like UK, living relationship is governed by Civil Partnership Act of 2004. We must see the difference that in India there is still no law regarding live-in relationship, but in UK in 2004 they have provided a particular and codified law and act which governs the live-in relationships. And in USA, live-in relationships are governed is prenuptial agreements and common law. In Australia, family law acts recognize live-in relationship, and in Canada, such relationships are termed as common law marriages. But in India, poorly, such relationships lead to multiple social as well as logistic problems like honor killing and the murders of the children in their houses. Thus, it is a high time to enact proper law and provisions covering such relationships. By providing them legal status, the couple seeking protection will get a proper remedy against any threat and will free and feel free to live their lives without any immaterial disapproval and opinion of the society. Because what matters is that Indian Constitution has given us the right of life, and we must do what we want to do, and we are free to do what we must do. That's all. Thank you.